Morning, not morning.
Morning, not morning. Yes, we're right out of our sink. Mm-hmm. Not the sink.
We've flown out the sink. We're skidding around the kitchen.
We are skidding. We're skidding around the kitchen.
Doing the cha-cha.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
For some reason.
Yeah, we're the sun is in a different place because we're doing this in the afternoon.
We're in the afternoon now, people.
We are.
And it is week 12.
12.
Yeah.
12.
Isn't that absolutely crazy?
12.
12. Ça va? Oui.
Oui.
Ça va toujours bien. Except that, ow, my ear is beep hurting. But yeah, that's my little moan.
Hats off to Caf. She's got a...
Did you just bleep yourself?
I just bleeped myself. I also just checked my own reflexes. I seem to be
She bleeped her own swearing.
I just beeped my own.
That's
the new thing. That's the new thing now.
So we haven't got a klaxon yet, so we need to get a klaxon at some point.
And they're gonna be attached to the end of here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beep
and a little bell for
something else. Little
ding.
bell. Oh yeah, are you being served? Which,
are you being served bell?
Comes up most weeks.
Exactly. Bless you. Yeah, Caf's got an ear infection, but we're soldiering on.
Yeah.
So kudos to Caf with an F.
Thanks very much.
Yes,
Thanks very much.
So this is Caf.
Oh yeah, I'm Caf. Hello, nice to meet you. This is Patsy.
I'm Patsy, and we have Jamie. Jamie's not the sound guy. Jamie is the video guy.
The camera guy.
Exactly. And today we are joined by my house husband.
Yes.
Because I have a work husband, which is Jamie, and I have a house husband, which is Rack.
Oh,
yay, Mr. S.
I'm a husband.
You're
Actually husband, yes.
I'm a husband. He's like a chattel. So he's shadowing Jamie to help with tech and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to get a lot more things that we need to do, and we need more than just three of us, which is quite nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
It is nice. Oh, people have teams, don't they? Of people. And
people have teams.
People. Oh, I've got my so and so guy, and I've got my so and so guy. It's just us.
Or girl,
or girl. This is true. Yeah. Thank you for that.
That's
Always
right,
reminding me.
You're going to say something. You starting?
Was I?
I don't know. You starting? From where I'm from? From Whitton. You starting?
You starting? Shall I take your ears off, love? Is that what it is? Are we going to start? No. You starting? Bless you. So what have you got this week?
Okay, I'm starting. Well, I wanted to start with an errata.
Errata?
Mm-hmm. Kim Stallwood, hello. Hope you don't mind that I mentioned your book last week. Didn't manage to ask you because you were away, but did talk to Richard De Pasando, and you're brilliant, so wanted to mention you. However, I did make a bit of an error when it came to what Kim's book was called. Not the one about Topsy, but it ain't Raw, it's Growl. So, Growl, Life Lessons, Hard Truths and Bold Strategies from an Animal Advocate by Kim Stallwood. Nice. I called you Tim then, so I'm doing really well. But yeah, so thanks and sorry, errata, closed. There you go.
We're good like this, aren't we? We're like the Daily Mail front inside cover. Because no one looks at it, it's where they print them all, isn't it? And I've probably got that wrong, and I'll have to do an errata next week. But it doesn't matter. Try swallow, darling.
We're not like the Daily Mail.
No, we're not like the Daily Mail, but they have to print so many because they make so many errors. But ours are all out of enthusiasm.
Exactly, which is uncurbed, I might say.
Absolutely. Our giddy is cannot be tamed.
It cannot. So that was my errata.
That's your errata.
Yeah, and then
go on.
I was going to tell you about small batch Babka.
Oh.
Yummy, which is Pasha Milburn is the brains and the maker behind Small Batch Babka, and she does incredible pop-ups at the Yard at Waterworks Road, and also sometimes with Stooge Cafe, which I've mentioned before, coffee cafe, and she's doing one at the Crown this Saturday, so it'll be kind of Easter eggy and other things, but it's like delicious folded bread. And there's a whole story behind how she built her business, and it really is her passion to be baking and making, and she will deliver it. You can have it themed for a birthday party, whatever. It's just the most delicious, gooey, deliciousness.
Yeah.
That,
Is it sweet?
Yeah, it is. I'm
It
afraid
is
it is
sweet.
sweet.
I'm sure.
I wonder if you probably have.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean-
eaten everything. I'm sure I've eaten.
Yeah,
Babka.
you probably have had some of her stuff. She's just brilliant, and so she will be at the Crown on Saturday, which people will be able to go to because this goes out on Thursday. So.
Yes, it goes out on Thursday. So when you look on Thursday, somebody said to me the other day, I made copious notes of what you
cute.
talk
I love
about,
that.
and I thought that's so nice. I like to hear that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, write notes, and then you don't miss anything then because we're out foraging for all this information,
away. Yes.
or we get the information thrust upon us, which is nice.
Yeah, as well.
So talking about things that were thrust upon us, in a very generous way, James Rollins came in. He was our first man.
Our first man.
Our first man guest. Our inaugural guy. So Jamie and I were lucky enough to go to the Hastings Rocks International Film Festival. And James, when he was here, was talking about Sarah does. I got to meet Sarah. Woof. I've done it again. I like to use woof.
I love the woof.
Don't I?
Yeah.
Wow, what a woman. Phenomenal. She just, that's like two women piled into one woman's body. She's like extraordinary. I liked her very, very much. It was lovely to meet you, Sarah. So on Friday, because I had the boys coming, because it was my Mother's Day this Saturday just gone, so the boys were all together to give me a Mother's Day, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
So Rack and I did the film festival on the Friday night. So we got there at 5 and we left there at 11. My bottom hurt, I must admit, from sitting that long in a theatre, but it was utterly brilliant. So I'm just going to run through these, but it was so good. So they started off with true stories for 1066 country. So the documentaries were wonderful, and I just want to shout out to Adam Clements, who you know.
Yeah,
we
Adam's
talked. He said,
good.
I know Caf.
Yeah.
I went, oh, good. So he did the America Ground, and he asked 2 questions. How do you feel about the town, and what do you know about the America Ground? Were the 2 questions he asked. And he had a host of people either working there or know a lot about it, or he had Bob Tipler and John Knowles, who did the America Ground, the movie, the theatre, the musical, and the lovely Amanda Clough, who I like very much. She's such a strong personality. It was great, and it was just, what do you know? And they all gave their lovely stories of what the America Ground was, and how they feel about Hastings. It made the most touching documentary.
Oh.
He won the Spirit of Hastings Award. Which
Oh my
was
goodness, well done.
absolutely well worth watching. Yeah, well done, Adam. Then what stuck out for me as well was King Putt, which was about the crazy golf. Now a lot of people don't know that we have the international.
A lot of people don't know that.
They do the international World Crazy Golf. Well, world and international. Patsy, you don't need to say it twice.
Championships.
The championships, yes. So they followed around. I want to say Mark Chapman. Was it Mark Chapman? Right? Mark Chapman, yeah. So he was a great character, and so you see, it's really funny watching a film, and you've got the Deleu in the background, and it's like,
oh, you call it the Deleu?
It's the Deleu.
Oh, I call it the Deluxe.
No. That's when you know you live here. It's when you call it the Deleu.
I think I just discovered I live here then.
Locals call it the Deleu. So,
not
here
really
we go.
live on camera.
Not just informative, but educational.
Oh my goodness.
It was wonderful, and Mark Chapman was in the audience, and he got up to talk, and it was great because after a bunch of the films, once you had a bunch of films in their category, the directors, actors, writers all got up and you had a Q&A, which was very endearing. That won Best Documentary Award. Isn't it lovely? 2 locals.
Yeah.
It was great. So then they had Tales from the Land by the Sea category. Mother, which was the Bright Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
Which is down in our lovely Benbow Arts. So you had the writer there, a young woman, phenomenal. I loved her very much. And then you had Shouting at the Sea, which stuck out to me. Toffee Hammer Productions and Ben Verrill. So they won the Made in Hastings award, which I think is absolutely fabulous.
There was a certain Jamie De Ath in the credits, wasn't there?
There was
I don't know
a
what he
young
was doing
man
there.
with his hyphenated name, Jamie De Ath. I can't think, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure
I don't know
I've
what
met
they were
him.
there for.
I met him. Not a sound guy, but a
Job
videographer. So yes, you were credited, and Ben was very generous when he talked about Jamie, very much. But it was lovely. Ben and Amelia. We got to chat, and it was so smashing. So that is a love story. So the whole point of that love story was you got one guy who lives here, and he meets. I can't tell you the plot, but the woman had left town. You hear this a lot, where someone has left town and then they come back for some reason, and she's got a hagstone on her key ring, and all the lovely things about Hastings that you get to know once you've been here a little bit. And it was beautifully shot. It was beautifully written. It was a real, Amelia said, it's a real love story, which I love very much. But also Bobby and Dandy, which is the vintage shop they went into, and she walks in and she has bird shit on her shoulder. Yeah. Don't bleep that out. I'm not embarrassed about my swear word. I've said it now. I've broken my swear word duck. On a seabird of all things, she gets poo on her shoulder, and she's got this very sort of, I don't know, mundane sort of clothing on, and then she goes into Dandy, Bobby and Dandy, and picks out what do they call those jackets? I can't think what.
It's like an American college.
Yeah,
jacket.
what are they called?
Like a bomber jacket type thing.
Yeah, but it's
with the
oh,
emblem.
come on.
Varsity.
Varsity. Thank you.
Wow.
Help from the audience. Varsity jacket, and all of a sudden she looks really Hastings. She doesn't look like someone from out of town.
Oh,
She looks
cool.
like a proper Hastings person.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's shot in Bottle Alley, and it's just beautiful as the sun goes down. It was lovely. So I popped in, funnily enough, and I met Donna in Bobby and Dandy. She's a lovely, lovely person. So it was great. It was so good. So that won the Made in Hastings award for Ben Verrill. And then there was one, Sharks in Colwyn Bay, about a man obsessed with Spanish food, sweaty guy. Very, very lots of close-ups of this guy who borrows money from a loan shark in Colwyn Bay.
Oh, wow.
And that one, joint winner of Best Student. But I stayed around for the end for obvious reasons, because kick-ass drama from fearless females. These two films absolutely stuck out for me. The Red Room, which is a pole dancer's experience, directed by a woman who was a stripper, and she makes these films. Sophie Cohen. Oh my God, I was quite blown away by her wonderful, wonderful work, and it was all about the friendship around being working in a pole dancing club. It was great, and something else which I won't spoil for you. And then you've got, now I'm not Swedish, but it's called Dom Utrikta. I think Dom Utrikta, which is basically The Unexpressed, which was the second film I loved. Oh yes, going back to Sophie, sorry, she won Best Cinematography Award, so good for that, and well deserved. So Dom Utrikta is The Unexpressed, which was a story of two female actors who met as strangers on an audition, and then they built this really colourful relationship, which is all based on playing, trusting, setting each other tasks by a post-it note. But it was really, really honest, and that was Sandra Medina and Lena Stam. So Sandra Medina is Spanish, and is she Spanish or Argentinian? Okay, that might be in the Errata next week. And Lena Stam, who's German, they won the Best Performance Award.
Oh,
highly, highly deserved. Well, I was watching these and clapping like a loon, and Sophie Cohen and Lena Stam are sitting behind me.
Really?
So I had a proper fangirl moment. I went, oh God, I want to talk to these women and tell them how amazing these films are. So I just gibbered through some nonsense, and I'm so sorry. I felt really silly. but I was quite
Sure they loved it.
Well, I just felt really self-conscious, but I couldn't get over how amazing these films were. So next year, go and see this film festival. It is such high quality. I highly recommend it.
And there is Brighton Rocks, right? That
Brighton
must be
Rocks as
coming
well.
up.
Yes,
I don't know if
absolutely.
that's coming up or if we missed it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but we'll
check it out because
Check it
we're going
out.
to put the link at the bottom.
Cousins over in
Our
Still in
cousins
Sussex.
over in the West. Yeah.
the West.
The West.
Yeah? Oh, amazing.
The Wild
That sounds
West.
great, and I'm gutted I missed it, but I was in Deal getting a fake tattoo.
Oh!
So, you know. Yeah, although I quite like the look.
It might have
of
to
it.
stay.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of, it's quite hard to get off, so
Oh well,
Anyway.
it might be for a while.
I had some flip-flops on here that came off quite quick, because,
Okay.
I don't know, they didn't quite work for me, but yep. Deal's amazing, also, you know, another place along the coast in the other direction. It's got an
Yes.
amazing brutalist looking pier and a kind of eatery at the end of it. But yeah, it's worth a visit. It's a bit like Home from Home-ish, but a bit different. It was kind of like, oh, this feels a bit like Hastings, but not
Yeah.
Hastings, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's nice to go and see other places. So I wanted to talk about Polo Piatti's Silver Winkle, which I just thought might be the title of this podcast.
And other stories.
And other stories.
There we go. We've got
So
it.
yeah, Polo Piatti is an incredible composer who lives here, and he has very recently been given the honour of a Winkle, which is a very old tradition here. It's
Winkle Club.
Of the Winkle Club, yes, which I need to find out more about, unless you know stuff. You might know stuff. But I know there's something about, like, they kind of all say, show us your Winkle, and then they have a little silver shell that they show, and it shows that they're part of the club. And you can see more about it, actually, over at the Fisherman's Museum in Rockernor. So, but yeah, he's...
Isn't it for people who do lots of good things?
Yeah, so it's a charity, and then he was just absolutely stoked, not that I use that word apart from today, about it, and said he feels very honoured to have been presented with this distinguished silver Winkle by the famous Hastings Winkle Club today. It was presented by Mr. Richard Stevens, president of the club, which is one of the oldest and most esteemed charities in the United Kingdom. And yeah, they support a lot of amazing initiatives here in Hastings. And,
Yeah, they do.
there is the Winkle sculpture that you can...
Lee Dyer did that.
Yeah, Lee Dyer did that, didn't he?
We ought to get him in as a guest.
Yeah, we should get Lee
guest.
in. Yeah, he'd be up for that.
That's going in my book.
Winning the book.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wanted to say congratulations to Polo for that, and he's an interesting person to follow, another one, and maybe he also might want to come in at some point and have a chat about all of his incredible orchestral and everything else work that he does. So
Absolutely. Let's bring him in. Why not? We'll have them all lined up outside. We'll just go, come on, next. Oh, bless you. Hastings Theatre Project, the lovely Dan and Sophie, Poppy. There's an errata straight away. Poppy and Dan, the lovely Poppy and Dan. Hastings Theatre Project. It's Hastings Theatre. Patsy can't
It's
do
okay.
words today.
It's
I'm
all right.
struggling with words. Hastings Theatre Project. They have the sixth part of this hexology, which is DFL. So it's coming up on the 2nd, 3rd, no, it's the 3rd. I'm looking at this. I don't know what's happened to me today. I'm having a proper moment.
It's okay.
Saturday the 3rd of the 5th, 3rd of May at 2, 3 and 4 o'clock.
excellent.
They're going to be, thank you for that, thank you for coaching, I appreciate it. So their final instalment of the DFL hexology, so the 6 parts. So they have tickets available, so they're going to be on the ladies' parlour, which is the grassy area on the top on Castle Hill, outside the castle walls. It's known as the ladies' parlour, she says, a little bit of history, because tournaments were held there outside the castle grounds, and a lady, a distinguished lady, would be present to maybe dangle a handkerchief or a glove for the fate, and he would have to win her favour, and only when he won would he get the favour, and that was the favour.
Very good, very good.
whatever the favour was.
Innuendo.
So, going back to the Hastings Theatre Project, so you can pay what you can afford, which is £3, £5 or £8,
Sweet.
which I think is marvellous. So, yeah, get on it. So Noa and Lydia, as they bring their story to a close, I can't bear it, it's going to be too sad. Yeah, go along.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, you did a great review of their last one.
I know.
Some podcasts ago,
I know.
so it would be.
Yeah.
Really
Oh no, we
exciting
have
to hear.
tickets. We go.
We have tickets. Excellent. Excellent.
We have tickets.
Polo Piatti done. And so yeah, Easter Sunday, which is 20th of April, coming up. There is not another BL * DY art group. Bloody art group.
Say bloody.
I know.
That's
I know,
fine.
I don't know. Yes. And it's Art for the Soul, who is Christina Macadam. And basically you can go along and make a lovely kind of jar with lots of different colours on it that you can then put a little candle inside. And she's got it running from 11 till 5 for the first hour. It's a tenner and then £5 thereafter.
Cool.
And in my haste, I've not actually written down where it is, so I'm just going to refer to my other notes. And you can make a little bit of lift music, please. Patsy. Laser Lane Studio, which is in St Leonards. Hurrah! It's good, wasn't it? I was thinking this morning when I was like, I don't know if I can do this, that maybe you could just have my slides and that music. It's like, and now Caf would like to present. Anyway.
No, I love it.
Over
Very
to you
Tony
again.
Hawk. Okay, so my husband and I, as the Queen would often say, we belong to a group which is called the St Leonards Sunday Lunch Group, right? The club, SL, which we're very lucky to be in. We go and eat roast dinner. It's a terrible job.
Awful.
It's so awful. But we go and try all the roast dinners out,
Wow.
wherever they happen to be.
Excellent.
Well, this weekend we rocked up, as is our style, at the Ruddy Duck on the edge of Edgerton Park.
I know,
Edgerton
I've
Road.
seen it. Yeah.
Oh,
You can see it by
culinary!
the
It was
footprints,
culinary excellence. It's the footprints,
Yeah.
exactly. So I wrote them a lovely trust pilot, but we got there and I didn't know what to expect. But Ian, who was sitting next to me on my left, he said, "I've been here twice and it's very nice." And I said, "Well, I'll be the judge of that." Now, there can be anything between 8 and 15, 16 of us at this Sunday lunch club. Can you imagine trying to accommodate that many people really noisily in any pub or eatery or restaurant, wherever there's food and roast dinner?
It's a lot, yeah.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah.
We're noisy. We're picky. We have gluten-free and gluten-free beer needs, and we can never agree. We can never agree. There have been times when we've been out and we've been to places and someone's gone, "Oh, that was chef's kiss," and the rest of us looking at them going, "What? What were you thinking? Did you bring your own? Did you bring a sarnie?" Because we didn't have a nice time.
Never set up as a jury then. That'd be a bad idea.
No, nil poir quite often. But my word, we went very quiet, and which was a bit of a blessing actually, because we were very noisy. And the staff were super patient, weren't they, Back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They were super patient. We were all paying with different cards for different drinks and everything, and they didn't bat an eyelid. But I was not prepared for what came up from the lower stairs.
Okay.
When they brought the food out, I was hungry. I'd not had any breakfast, and when they came out, they had these like big soup dishes. We're not talking about a small soup dish. We're talking about a big soup dish. And they came out and they were held by these lovely girls very patiently, with proper big thick tea towels, because the plates were extraordinarily hot. But that's always a good sign for me.
Yeah, definitely. You
A
don't
hot
want a
plate.
cold roast.
You do
Oh my
not
God.
want that.
No.
And they came out and we watched the vegetarians come out first, and it was piled high, and it was like, ooh. And then came out the beef, and then came out the lamb, and then came out the pork. And by the time I was one of the last ones to be plated, but it didn't take long. You know, everyone was plated really well.
Mm-hmm.
The gravy. It takes 6 hours to make this gravy, and it's not surprising because it's 16.
She said
Wow.
16 hours.
Oh yeah, it
16
was over
hours.
several days. 16 hours to make this gravy. You could
Oh my
tell.
goodness.
It was just amazing. They had the best roasties. They had, the meat was cooked to perfection. And when you think of all the different meat that they had, it was all cooked to perfection. Nothing was dry, nothing was gnarly. It was just succulent and amazing.
Wow.
And the Yorkshires, homemade, big uns. And the vegetables were just extraordinary. It was a triumph of a roast dinner. Now they're going to be swamped, I know, because it
That
was
sounds incredible.
the place to go, and it was just, you know, I've never tasted anything quite like it. Kate's the boss, Kate's the manager down there. She said it's a proper pub with proper food.
Yeah.
And I went, you've surpassed it, mate. Honestly, you really have. So I went straight home, got straight on Trustpilot and gave them an absolute rave. It was lovely. And then pudding. Well, first of all, I suddenly realised, I said to Rack, I have to review this now. This is going to be a feature. And I said, that means I've got to have a pudding. Oh dear,
Shucks.
what a terrible thing. Shucks. Yes, gee whiz, I have to have a pudding. So I had the crumble, the rhubarb and apple crumble,
Oh, wow,
which
nice.
again was piping hot, photograph, with custard on the side. It was just amazing.
Yummy.
Biz, one of our lovely friends, she had the a burnt cheesecake with pears cooked in sherry, I think.
Oh my goodness.
But everyone
did you fall asleep, all of you, afterwards?
Well, I needed a nana nap.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely phenomenal. So
Amazing.
what a great place to go, and I highly recommend it. So we'll stick the photo up and the link underneath.
Sounds good. Did the crew agree?
Everybody
agreed.
Thank you for bringing me back.
Unanimous.
It was unanimously
Great.
the top of our charts, and we've been going for years. Top.
Really? How long have you been going?
Oh,
4 years?
4 years?
Maybe longer.
Probably longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, longer. 4 years, maybe longer.
Wowza.
That's a lot of roast dinners. We do it for science. So yeah.
And for the love.
So the Ruddy Duck on Edgerton Park.
Ruddy
Excellent.
Duck, yeah, that's just around the corner. Edgerton Park is like the best park for taking a kid along, and there's lots and lots of things you can do there. There's Bexhill Museum in there as well, just around the corner from the Delaware Pavilion. So yeah, there's all sorts of amazing stuff over in Bexhill. Wonderful.
Crack on.
Cracking on. So I was surfing the net and I saw this person who is offering tuition in how to bake a delicious sourdough bread. Now, I thought it was...
Hello, lockdown. Banana bread, sourdough.
I did wonder, but it's over near Battle, and you know what? I never mastered that. I did the banana bread, got it down.
Yeah, we got banana bread.
Yeah,
down.
but myself and the sourdough didn't quite, sort of.
Was your
neat.
starter a bit iffy?
My starter was a bit iffy. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
They can
I
sulk.
don't know why I'm talking like this now.
No.
I'm not quite sure. But my starter was a bit iffy. So, based near Battle, and basically, if you, like me, missed the whole sourdough thing, then you can go and see Noa Lachman, who will be offering those courses from 11 till 2 on various days, which we will put the link below. I just thought it was a kind of a funny throwback thing to say, no offence, Noa. I think also that, anyone who can bake a loaf of bread half decently, absolutely, hats off, because it's not easy, I don't think.
No. And bougie bread on top of that.
Yeah, bougie bread.
But sourdough's
I know
lovely.
someone who went. I haven't tasted their bread yet though. My other half has. It's Bev from Hastings House. So she's trying to explain it to me about there's male and female, and it's weird.
Yeah.
How they you've got to mix it. It's
a whole science,
It's
isn't
a
it?
whole science behind
Yeah.
sourdough. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Sorry, carry on.
No, is that why then? Because I can't eat normal yeasty bread, normally produced bread. Makes my fingers swell. But I can eat sourdough, sadly with massive alacrity, which else for the Joey that I carry around all the time? My food bellies. I have several.
Alacrity.
Yeah.
I think you win.
I know, it's a
word
good word,
competition
isn't it?
today.
Alacrity,
Yes,
I like
absolutely.
alacrity.
It's wonderful.
So
Well,
posh bread.
Posh bread.
Nice. Okay, so we have a beautiful segue into food. Now, I spoke at length with the lovely Patricia Nishikawa Villani. What a lovely name. Who, oh God, this was a lovely interview actually.
Yeah.
She is a chef and food stylist, right? Behind secretingredients.uk.
Ooh,
Right.
good name.
She came from Brazil 18 years ago and moved to London, as you would. Then she was involved in photography, styling, filmmaking. She was involved in that sort of business. But she's born in Brazil to Japanese, Italian and Portuguese Brazilian family.
Amazing.
What a mix. Ooh, a fusion child. So she, when we were all out playing, you know, like they do, she was watching her mother and her mother's friends in the kitchen. She wanted to cook. She wanted to be involved in that. She didn't want to do all the other things. That's what she wanted to do. So she was also a massive Jamie Oliver fan, so she watched everything Jamie did. Going back to the pucker days, do you remember the pucker days of the Naked Chef?
Yeah, totally.
Everything is pucker. wasn't it?
It
Yeah,
was.
pucker.
Yeah.
So I there's a lot here about her, but I'm trying, you know, make it small. So she trained in London and became a head chef within 3 years, running and opening kitchens. I know,
Wow,
kudos, darling.
Big time.
Restaurants wanted her vibrant Brazilian, and because there's not an awful lot of Brazilian stuff, or wasn't at the time. So, but now in London you got Brazilian butchers. So they specialise in the certain types of meat that is only Brazilian. So she's strong on Japanese and Brazilian food and fusions thereof. She worked in farmyard in St Leonards. Because she moved here, sorry. So she went to London. She's been down here a year. So she's in St Leonards now. Worked in farmyard and now the boatyard because she went part-time. Because she's now focusing on what she did in London here.
Okay.
So during lockdown, she was involved in part of the Home Cooks initiative, which is where a load of chefs got together, and because there were no restaurants open, they all decided they were going to cook in their own home, and people could order.
And
And it was a great initiative. So she was part of that. So quality meals delivered to people's homes keeps chefs in business and in practice. So this woman, right? She's bonkers. I loved her immediately. She can cater, everyone who's decent is bonkers, aren't they? She can cater for your small or larger dinner party. Now, think about the people that quite often get on the DFL sites and they say, I've got a big party coming, they're all going to take over this house, I need someone to cook.
Yeah.
And hardly anybody answers the call. This is your woman. So she can do your starters, main, sides and dessert, right? She's currently working on a dinner party for 40 this week. So call her, tell her what you'd like, discuss menus and budgets, gluten-free, vegan. She will plan recipes, source ingredients, shop, cook, and make your event memorable.
Incredible.
So this is my writing, not hers. All you might have to do is you might have to heat it up if necessary, or serve it up and clean up after, because she's not going to do that for you. But that's what your friends are for, eh?
Yeah, totally.
So what she was talking about is Brazilians are big on barbecue. They barbecue everything. So they do this fantastic thinly sliced rump steak and it's cooked to perfection. They also eat chicken hearts. Ooh, I'm not an awful eater, but Rack would like that very much. So they're big on paprika, big on garlic. And they have these wonderful salads and rice dishes they're really, really good at. So we'll put the link on the bottom, but get this. She just put a post up this week and she went, I wondered if anybody would be interested. I got her on the phone within 20 minutes And she went, Patsy, I've been inundated. I went, so you will be. So book this one.
This is it.
Because there, you've got the real deal in town.
Wow. Yeah, the pictures that you shared earlier, I think.
I know.
They just look beautiful.
Yeah, the Wagyu beef and and those
Really
wonderful, what do they call those bowls? Oh, what are they called?
Poke bowls, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar.
No.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Something like that. Yeah.
But they're full of noodles and eggs and prawns and. Anyway, I'm starving.
That's
Carry
a
on.
little bit.
Can we take me off this subject, please? Because my tummy's rumbling.
I was going to just reflect a little, which is like when I moved down here in 2015, there was not really many places like that, or like, you know, special stuff that you could get. It was more of a kind of, I don't know, you had to weave and duck and dive and meet the right people and, you know, sort of get directed. Now it's just, it feels like there's a lot more of, you know, you can go out there and have a taste bud.
You can.
Sensation delight. I'm not sure that's now a thing.
Exactly.
But it is now a thing.
In fact, I got on the phone to Jonathan Swain now. Plate Licked Clean is his blog.
Oh yeah, you told us about him. Yeah.
Fantastic guy. And he lives in Cardiff, but he's going to come here because he comes here regularly he's a food blogger. And I said, would you come on and be a guest? He went, I'd love that.
Yeah.
What a darling. So we've got him coming up in May. So because we are so interesting food-wise, so we're becoming one of those places. We don't need these.
Nah.
We're becoming one of those places for food.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that.
Nice one. I was again skimming the internet, and Laura Hamilton Brown shared something that belongs to Louise Gray and Giles Round on Instapop, and it is Village Affairs at Stade Hall, and it's on Saturday 10th of May, 11 till 5. It's an artist-led show that's going to be on in the hall, and it just sounds like it's going to be absolutely beautiful and something to pop by and have a look at. So, and I just really love the graphic that you'll see. It's just there's something about it here. It's a bit like I don't know, kind of 60s-y.
Oh yeah.
Bit graphic-y. I think you'll like it as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's I think just from that I want to go.
Well, anything that Lorna either is involved in or recommends.
Very true.
She's got to come in. Actually, we need to get her in.
I'd love to see Lorna here. Yeah.
Let's bring her in because she is a powerhouse. Beautiful person.
Yeah. I mean, I could spin off into a little yabber about Lorna. I don't know how we're doing time wise. So
I don't think we've got it today, Don. We haven't got enough battery.
Damn it! That's true. We haven't got batteries left. Okay.
Went off.
Lorna, we'll chat with you and about you more. So.
Yeah, definitely, Lorna, because you're queen. She's amazing. So, as one who likes to shop, I'm a vinter, right? I love vintage, and I like to buy things secondhand as much as I can. But I have to also support the town. So there's two women that come straight to mind. So one is Sarah Thomas. Sarah Thomas is Boudoir for your schmutter, you know, for your clothing. She's at the bottom, opposite the co-op, at the bottom of London Road. And Sarah's a lovely, kind woman who buys very well. She does buy really well. And she has lots of regular people who go in. And she buys for them when she goes out shopping for supplies. She's thinking about these women all the time. Curating. She thinks about me a lot, which is nice. So I pop in, she goes, Pat, I thought this and thought of you. But there's no pressure, you know. If I bung it on and it's not great, it's like she says, no, it's fine. I'll sell it. It will go anyway. But she's so good. You feel that she really loves what she does. She's really good at what she does. You can buy anything from a pair of earrings right the way through the spectrum of clothing, all the way through the dresses and the jeans and everything, clogs, jewellery, I mentioned that already, right the way through, woolens. Oh God, her woolens are amazing. And right the other end to a winter coat. Very good, very, very good. Yeah, I like her very much. So I've been a regular at Boudoir for years, and I'm not going away anytime soon. But that does dovetail me onto a bit of a clothing adventure that I had at the weekend. So Rack and I were walking down George Street with the kids by this time.
Yeah.
And as we wandered down, there were some women, a trio of lovely women. They were from Oxford, 2 of the women were from Oxford, and they come down to visit their friend.
Oh, yeah.
So they were standing outside the Ye Olde pump house, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, look how old that is, it's so old, it's so old. So we were giggling, and Rack said, it's not that old, to be fair, it's not that old. So they were like, what? I said, yeah, but don't worry, because there's the real deal is round the corner. So we were having a bit of an amuse. It wasn't an amuse-bouche, it was an amuse. Oh, it was just amusing.
Parley.
It was yeah, it was a proper parley. Actually, it was really nice. So have a lovely day. Anyway, so it was just nice banter in the sunshine. It was just delightful because Saturday was just beautiful. My lovely daughter-in-law to be, Charlotte, she, no pressure Charlotte, but come along to the family, come on, join, quick. She dragged me into Respire, they've got another bit, haven't they, Respire Living.
Yeah.
Respire means to breathe. I didn't know that. I learned that day.
Yeah.
So we went in and, well, we didn't actually, we stood outside and there was this gorgeous orange sweater in the window, and Charlotte said, come on Pats, let's go in. And I thought, oh, it's not something you get asked very often by your boys. Come on Mum, let's go in.
That's great.
No. So anyway, I went in and I said, I'm very interested in the sweater in the window. And she said, I said, is it for a woman with a little bit more girth than you expect? So she laughed, she took it out the window. I popped it on.
This is Julie, isn't it?
Screamed,
Yeah.
Julie Nixey,
Yeah,
what a
person.
lovely woman, isn't she so
Yeah, she's
sweet?
nice.
Because she's also a healer, isn't she?
Yeah,
she does
she's a
all
massage
this
therapist.
energy worker, which is marvellous.
Yes, yeah.
So she'll work with your fascia as well as your fashion.
Ah.
Oh, heard it here first.
Julie, you should use that.
Julie, use it. But she was a darling, and again, not pushy, she was just lovely. So anyway, I popped it on and Charlotte looked at me and she went, oh, Pats, that's so you, look at the way it's finished. I went, well, I have to buy it. So she had a 15% off sale, so that didn't make me feel quite so bad. As the family is standing outside waiting for me to come on, come along. Anyway, so Ye Olde Pump House, little segue. So going back, thank you Julie, I loved it, I love it. So this will be worn on one of the shows for the orange sweater. The Pump House, 64 George Street, was extensively remodelled during 1954. Previously, it was a dilapidated shoe shop, Stokes and Carey, see above, right? Which marred the street's appearance. The building also having sustained some damage in World War II. The council served an enforcement notice on the owner in 1946. I don't understand this because they said it took him 6 months to if they served the enforcement notice in 46, then 54 it was remodelled and 57 it opened up as a pub. But either way, but they used the guy who owned the shoe shop used old timbers that were used that were left out of other work that had been done.
Oh, cool.
And so some parts of it are 16th century. It's probably a little bit at the front. So amazing. So thank you Historical Hastings for that little bit of, more education.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if they still do, but they did do a very good vegan menu in.
They're good in there. They have a good pool table.
Yeah, good pump house.
Yeah,
good
we've
table.
eaten in there, haven't we, Mr. S?
I think so.
Yes, we have, definitely. Yes, I've sat there. So this trio of ladies who I love very much, 2 from Oxford and 1 local. One of them picked up this pink sweater, and it was just too beautiful to
We're
touch.
back in the shop.
We're back in the shop. We're back in Respire. So and she came over and said, "Do you want to feel?" And I went, "I do. This is now you have to buy me dinner." so anyway, so I stroked this sweater, and I said, "Now you're going to have to buy it because it's been handled by you in that loving way, which means you can't leave it here." No. Mine was already being bagged up in tissue and put in a bag lovingly by the lovely Julie Nixey. But she bought it, and they shuffled off upstairs. I couldn't go upstairs, I didn't have the bandwidth for it, but I will go back, and I mean that in a really good way because I want to go back and look.
Yeah.
Brack's sighing, which always tells me that it's like
I wasn't a sigh, I was just breathing.
were you just breathing?
Yeah.
Is that just breathing? So it's not one of those sounds that you get. Oh no, don't buy another thing. But I like to keep the ladies who supply us with lovely wares in business.
Absolutely.
Buy local.
Yeah.
Buy local.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh, Julie's incredible. She runs like 3 businesses, I think. And
She's lovely.
yeah, wonderful person.
We will feature her in our other guises. Definitely.
Yeah.
She was a sweetie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. So I've got a couple more to give you. Charleston Festival, darling. I'm going so bougie this week, which is your word, but it's true. I can't help it, right? So Charleston Festival, actually, Charleston do a really good job, and it's an amazing place to go and visit. And their branding is spot on, and I just think they're good. And
Is that Churchill, Charleston?
No, it's the people who loved in triangles. Can't remember the other bits now. Lived on squares. So that's and something about circles. What was it? Forgotten the circle bit.
Oh, tell me more.
So the Bloomsbury set. So it's basically Virginia Woolf and I'm going to forget all the names now. Yeah, they're all going out of my head. Clive, someone, lots of different people.
Famous people.
I'm letting people down here. Anyway, that lot, the Bloomsbury set would come and hang out in their countryside house. Clive Bell, I think, and have these crazy affairs and do crazy art and basically do it all over the place. Like so, you've got strange things. Funnily enough, with the ear infection, there's like on the wall in one of the bits of the house there is this cast of one of the people who lived there's ears. So yeah, weird connection. But that's not what I wanted to talk about at all. There are going to be quite a few people who I'm quite sort of fangirly about. Talking during this Charleston Festival, including Bat for Lashes. So I went to see Bat for Lashes over at the Delaware Pavilion some time ago, and it was like sorry everybody, royalty was there, like Message from the Ravens were in the crowd, Beverly Harling was in the crowd, there was lots of others there too and it was just like an intense and amazing performance. So Bat for Lashes is coming to talk about music and her relationship to it. And then Shirley Collins is also talking, who is like a folk music goddess who collected lots of different, you do know, yeah? Okay, because I like to pretend that I know about music. And then I ask you and you're like, yeah. Yeah, that just happened again. So, Shirley Collins will be there talking. Richard E. Grant, all sorts of others, and it's just like rather a sumptuous feast of. And if you can get a ticket before they all sell out, I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Just go. So
it's not on the doorstep, but it would be really grand to go
far.
and see. No, not far either. So I might go and fangirl at Bat for Lashes a bit. And yes, it's a really gorgeous place to go and visit anyway. So I just thought I'd throw it in there. Oh, 14th to the 26th of May, so we've still got time. And there's lots of other things that I could rant and rave about to do with Charleston, but I'll leave it there for now. So, yeah,
nice. I've just got a couple really. Mike Wilkins. Do you know Mike?
Tell me more about Mike.
Okay, so he is a drummer.
Yeah.
And he teaches drumming and he teaches road cycling skills, which you might look at me and go, what's that got to do with anything? Because our efforts to become more aware of our environment means more bikes. And as we have a prom, I just got in touch with him this week. I said, what are you up to? And he went, I'm still doing the same thing. And he said, I'm in the Vibes now, the band. I went, oh no, cool beans, yeah. So he's drumming in them. So anyway, he, because he said to me a while back, he said, do you know anyone who wants to learn how to ride a bike? And he said, because I'm a bike, I can offer bike tuition. And I said, oh, that's such a good thing.
Yeah.
So, because you see kids up and down, but you see also adults who can't ride bikes, who really want to learn.
Yeah.
So he will teach you as an adult. He will teach anybody, from kids 9 to 10, adults to £20 an hour. But he will take you out, cycling proficiency, and show you how to ride.
That's
and
amazing.
get used. Yeah, I think so. Because I'm scared to ride on the road, to be perfectly honest.
Lots of people are, yeah. And it is like road awareness and also confidence, basically.
Yeah,
So
confidence.
if there's something there that he can do to help, especially when you're an adult,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's just really important.
Because you might be able to ride, but do you know how to ride on the road? Do you know how to, I take people out who are scared of certain types of driving, and I help people pass their test. I'm not a qualified driving instructor, and I might get in trouble for saying that now. But I will often take people out and help them.
Oh, good on you, that's amazing.
So
and a drum teacher as well, because I'm looking for a drum teacher at the minute.
he's a drum teacher, £25
okay.
an hour, and he starts at teenage.
Okay, right.
But he's very good at both, so go and contact Mike. He's a lovely, lovely human.
Yeah.
Really nice man.
Excellent.
Yeah. When you see the photograph, you'll go, oh, I know exactly who he is.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah,
I'm just
you
terrible if I
will.
can't see a face as well as a
you
name. It
will.
just doesn't connect.
So we'll put the bits on the end.
Yeah, we'll put them
Yeah,
on.
contact.
Yeah. Sinky Snap. It just popped up. And
Juliette
it's just so
Dodd.
funny, so funny. I thought you'd
Sinky
know
Snap. I know
exactly
her.
who that is.
I've what's the word? I've sat for her class.
Oh, have you?
They painted me.
Oh,
Everybody
sweet.
painted me. It's really sweet.
Oh,
it's
that's
really
cool.
nice.
The thing that I was enjoying was Sinky Snap's montage of the David Bowie Pet Level.
You have to explain what Sinky Snap
Okay.
does first, but if so
Sinky Snap.
people aren't.
Okay, so in Hastings and St Leonards, and a little bit further out as well, till you get to about Rye, there's a lot of potholes, and it is the bane of most drivers. Not that I drive, but most drivers' existence, especially taxi drivers who it just really really hurts when you just got your car and you tuned it up and everything's fine, and then bang.
Bit of
So this is a really funny and fun way of twisting that around into something quite joyful, where there are little scenes. So Ophelia will appear in one.
She makes them out of Cindy.
Out of
Cindy
Cindy's,
dolls.
yes, yes.
Cindy's Barbies, Ken's,
That's right.
and all the different
Maybe
family
some action
members.
men, who knows?
Maybe
They might be
action
in
men.
there.
Yeah, they come.
And so and it's just, the song has gone out of my head as I'm looking at Rack, but it's the one where in Pet Level, bum 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 bum, Ashes to Ashes.
Ah.
So again, another, never mind the Buzzcocks moment.
Bit
for
of David
myself.
Bowie there.
Anyway, so and it's so cool, and I was like, I love that, and I've never seen any of them, I must say, and I know she leaves them around, right, and you can encounter them.
You can.
In the various potholes.
She has to
across
make
town.
sure it's safe to set up.
Yes.
And then she works out what she's going to do. People send her photographs of them. Sometimes they're filled with water. Sometimes you see them, you've got Cleopatra in a bath, so it's kind of set up. But she has themes, and sometimes they're topical, sometimes they're classical, sometimes they're historical, but they're hysterical either way.
Yeah.
So and she has calendars and a big following.
There's some merch.
Now.
There's
There's merch. Oh yes, love. There's merch.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to get some merch.
Yeah. She's lovely, Juliette Dodd. She's a smashing, eccentric in our town. Very, very talented artist.
Yeah.
Wow, so talented. She teaches people how to paint. But what a clever
Amazing.
woman. But what a great way.
It's just
to
great.
spend
It's,
your time.
and so Hastings again.
Yeah.
It's like really quirky, but really accurately delivered, and it just always makes me smile. So
Go and
it's
check
like-
out Sinky Snap.
Yeah,
it
do.
was Cindy Snap originally, and then they had to stop using Cindy. And
Oh, did
go
they?
to Sinky,
Oh no!
yeah.
Did the Cindy people get onto?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Cindy Syndicate.
But she made the change over to Sinky Snap.
Fair enough.
And it was hers then.
Yeah, because we referred way back. Week 12. In week 1, we talked about there being holes in how people understand what's going on here.
This is true.
And I call them sinkholes, but they're potholes.
Potholes.
Yeah.
They are.
So
We haven't got sinkholes yet.
No.
Well, we've had a couple.
Yeah.
Not very good. Yeah, not very good. I've got one more. So literally, this is a roundup of just a few things that are happening over the Good Friday. So Good Friday, Samaki are on at the Kino. Chris White and Rob Leake, I know Leakey, lovely. They're both on saxophone. Julian Humphreys on the congas and percussion.
Hey, Julian.
Love Julian, Jules. Evan Jenkins, who is a ridiculously good drummer. He's on drums, go and see. And Rob Updegraaf on guitar. Oh, Amazing. So anyway, they're an Afrobeats band, inspired by 70s sounds. So if you think of Fela Kuti, Tony Allen and Oscar Sully, that sort of vibe. But we've got that in our town.
Yeah.
So go and see them at the Kino.
Wonderful.
Easter Saturday, remember if you haven't already got your tickets, get your tickets, so the link's underneath for Easter Saturday, which is Glen Vanessa's garden gig at Hollington, in Hollington. Free tea and coffee all day for the Get Hastings fundraiser, 12 till 7-ish, because remember he was here last week. Don't let Caf know that I might be going on a little bit later, he said. Sorry, it's terrible parody of you, lovely Glenn. Easter Sunday, just a little silly thing which I thought was really sweet. So at the Rum Shed on the pier, they've got kids disco 3 till 5. Will you be taking Dottie, do you think?
Oh, possibly. It's a cool place. They've got their own candy floss machine.
Oh, amazing.
So it makes it in front of you.
That
Really?
sounds really hectic.
Oh, that's bad. Well, they did say there's sweets and pop. It's gonna you won't be able to do anything with the kids
Fair
afterwards.
enough. Yeah.
Put them in a box. Actually, straight after, bung them in a box. So
Bounce around.
that's it.
Maybe just
You can bounce in that, and I'll tape it up, and I'll just put air holes in. That's not what I did with my children, by the way. But after that, from 5 o'clock, you've got
the visual.
You've got, I know.
You have to put the number up for social service.
I know.
Yeah.
Would I do that? I would
No,
do
of
that.
course you wouldn't.
But there's a soul party afterwards at 5, so classic soul, funk and dance with DJ Les.
I
Oh,
love DJ Les.
do you like DJ? I don't know DJ Les.
Oh, I know, he's a good friend
Is
of
he
mine.
good?
He's doing a double party because he said double celebration. He's just been cancer free.
Oh my gosh.
Good for him. Ring the bell for
Yeah,
Les. Oh,
I'll put,
go
I
Les.
put up a little slide of him ringing the bell or asking
Oh,
for it.
bless.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's really good. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
very
really
nice.
good news. Well, thank you for coming out and doing the double. Yeah, that's amazing. So they're just little daft things that are going on at the weekend.
Sound fantastic. Yeah.
I'm out
Jamie
now.
has some bits.
In
Did
my-
you-
I've
what have you got?
3 bits.
Yeah.
Do you want me
Right.
to? Oh, rack.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's just stop
Yeah,
that
let me do that.
and we'll start it again. So
I might
we'll
swap
start-
out,
we'll
so
start
I can,
again.
Really?
Stretch my legs. Yeah, just
Oh,
for. Oh,
oh,
is he
okay.
going to come over? Okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't mind because I need you both in it.
Oh. Okay.
So let me get my piece of paper.
He's got a lifeboat bag.
Well, this is the.
Wow.
I'll
That's
start. Right, I'll start by saying, these bags are handmade by a friend of mine called Hayley. She's selling them at the. Sorry, Rat. I'm not being very good here. She's selling them at the church market, indoor market this week. Right, they are. Let me do my reading for you.
Thank you. Ooh.
It says, each of these bags have been lovingly handmade and repurposed from fabrics, vintage tea towels, lucky finds, 1980s curtains, and even some modern gems.
Oh.
Many are
Yes.
rescued from house clearances, carrying a story before they reach your hands. No two are exactly the same. So when you find one that speaks to you, you'll know it's truly one of a kind.
Great, aren't they?
Gorgeous.
So,
Very cool.
and this one,
These.
Oh, look
whoever
at these,
buys this
nice.
one, the whole proceeds will go to the RNLI.
Oh,
just that one.
Look, you've got flags of all
These are really
nations
beautiful.
inside.
She's brilliant. Yeah, the things that are
Isn't
inside
she
are
great?
great.
Oh, it's full of knots. It's covered in knots.
Yeah.
So it's
She
a
also-
wonderful t-shirt.
She also makes these cool little frames, and it just puts words in them from Scrabble letters, and it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like it's quite cool. She's got a couple of those for sale too. Anyway,
Very cool.
you're welcome, Hayley.
Oh, we love
she's here
Hayley.
on the Saturday the 19th selling these bags, so get down to the market. What else did I have? Oh, still speaking of the same church, the St Leonards Church, they're going for it. They've got, I don't know if you remember the Orb, 1990s electro band, I
Yeah.
believe. I remember them. They are putting on a gig on the 16th of May.
Wow.
So for tickets, I'll put a
big time.
QR code up here. So see if you can scan it. Alright, and that's on the 16th of May, and that is at the church. So
Sweet.
I'll be there. I might be pulling pints or I might be taking coats. Alright.
Wow.
And then, okay, a little bit more serious.
I love that.
I know that this this town has plenty and wonderful people. But unfortunately, like any town, you're always going to get your toe rags and not very nice people. But you know, you've got to put up with them. You've got to take the rough with the smooth. However, a really expensive, lovely blow-up paddleboard has been stolen from a car that's been sitting in Warrior Square since, I think it was since Saturday. So sometime between Saturday and this morning, someone's gone and stolen a paddleboard, and it's really upsetting. And we're going to try and find this paddleboard, and we're going to try and find the people. There's cameras around. There's no actual, I shouldn't say this, but there's no actual CCTV in Warrior Square, which is only such a
No, that's
I know, which there should be.
What colour is it?
I'll put a picture of one that's for sale up here. It's like blue and white, and they also stole like a gold floating radio, which is a shirt. Oh, so yeah, we're going to try and get that back from my lovely friend.
Keep your eyes
Joe.
peeled, and if you're offered them,
And don't buy off people that just come up to you in the street. Do you want a paddleboard?
No,
Or
but
do you
get
want
some
whatever?
details.
Okay, yeah, get some details. Try and find out who they are. Anyway, that was my shout outs for the week. I'm going to have to use that camera the whole time because I don't think I'm in this one. So well done, Rack. That's very good.
thank you.
And,
so okay, thank you, Jamie.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
they're really important. So we are.
Our town has plenty.
Our town has plenty.
Cheers,
And-
everyone.
Yeah, cheers, everybody.
See you soon.
Before we go, you can buy us a coffee.
Yes, you can.
Oh yeah.
On
www.ko-fi.com/Our Town Has Plenty.
yes.
And if you want to send us any notes or words of appreciation or whatever, then email us.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube. So
Yeah.
the email is ourtownhasplenty@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And it's been wonderful. Thank you.
It's been lovely.
Right.
Week 12. Whoop.